My name is Philip, and I studied and lived as a warrior monk at the Shaolin Temple in China.
Hello everybody, I'm here with Yan Junchifu of the Shaolin Temple, Yunnan Shaolin Temple.
This is my story. In this video, I will show you each individual type of training that we did at the Shaolin Temple. I'll break it down for you one by one.
Oh my god!
What daily life at the temple is actually like. How I filmed a fight scene with the masters of the temple. How I won a martial arts tournament. How the misconception that warrior monks can't fight is very wrong. And you'll see me get beat up by warrior monks. A lot. It was one of the hardest but most rewarding things I've ever done. You train 9 hours a day. You sleep on a piece of wood. You can't even speak when you eat ever. But I'll explain that later. So, how did I get there? Well, I was actually invited and given the rare opportunity to film and document my experience. Because keep in mind, this is a sacred ground. So I'm going to walk you through everything I did with complete honesty. As intense and exciting as the training was, some of the quieter moments really had an impact on me, like the meditation. So don't worry, I am going to dive into all that stuff as well. So each day we train 3 different training sessions, 3 hours each, on top of temple duty. So I'm going to break down each of these specialized types of training that we do at the Shaolin Temple. I've separated each type of training by time code. I want you guys to have a good viewing experience, so feel free to skip around to each section in any order you like. Here's a list of everything we're going to dive into. Shaolin, Sanda, Wing Chun, Hard Qigong, Mei Hua Chuan, Buddhist meditation, power training, soft Qigong, Tai Chi, power stretching, Chin Na, forms, temple duty, and tournaments. So if you've been enjoying my Shaolin content and you want to see more, and you're excited for that fight scene with the masters, which is coming next, please make sure to subscribe. We hit 150,000 subscribers, which I'm so grateful for, so let's make it 200K. So make sure to like this video and share it with a friend who might want to learn about Shaolin. Alright, so let's start breaking down this list. First, let me introduce you to the master warrior monks who were my teachers while I studied at the Yunnan Shaolin Temple. First, we have Wu Shifu, as we called him. He's a dangerous weapon, ready to be unleashed at any second. For over 10 years, he has worked in the film industry, including Fearless with Jet Li, Jackie Chan, and Donnie Yen. Next, we have Du Shifu, as we called him. Every movement he executes is precise and powerful. He's also a really good dancer, which I found hilarious for some reason. Became a master at the age of 20. Next, of course, we have Shifu Shi Yan Jun, or Yan Jun Shifu, a controlled calm within the storm, harnessed through decades of dedication, the ultimate picture of a master. He's a 34th generation Shaolin warrior monk and a 17th generation disciple of Mei Hua Chuan. He would be my lead teacher as I studied at the Shaolin Temple. Okay, so now I'm going to break down each type of training. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite, and let me know if you want me to do a separate video on any of them and kind of dive deeper into it if you're curious, you want more details about a specific topic. And I always get a lot of questions, so if you guys ever want to chat live, stop by my Twitch stream, or of course my second channel here on YouTube, where I analyze the cinematic language of games because I am also a filmmaker. Alright, so first on the list, of course, Shaolin Kung Fu. Come on! This Kung Fu style originated at the Shaolin Temple in Henan. It is a combination of Chan, meditation and Buddhist studies, and Chuan, martial arts. They are based on Buddhist philosophy. You'll learn basic skills, power skills, and combat skills while training. Shaolin culture consists of 3 treasures: Chan, Buddhism philosophy; Wu, martial art; Yi, Chinese traditional medicine; and Qigong. When you start training in Shaolin Kung Fu, firstly you must develop healthy habits and personal discipline. There are traits which the monks pass down onto their disciples: to be considerate, courteous, brave, righteous, diligent, loyal, develop clarity, and learn how to solve problems. A true master will teach you to be gentle, love life, and be happy. 2 main pillars of the Shaolin philosophy are wisdom and compassion. The most important part of your training is the basics. They represent your foundation, your stances, forms. Just like with any martial art, if you don't have the basics down, it's going to cause problems throughout your entire training. The forms in Kung Fu mean a set of movements. Forms can be performed with empty hand, called fist forms, or with weapons. Shaolin forms are short and the moves are linear. There are 4 ancient forms that were considered the 4 sutras that the Bodhidharma brought to Shaolin when he brought Buddhism to China. All the more reason each form is a religious experience that they are sometimes called sutras. Shaolin Kung Fu is called Dongchan, moving meditation, action meditation, as opposed to Budongchan, unmoving meditation, quiet sitting. The Shaolin Temple was founded in 495 by the Indian monk Buddhabhadra. The word Lin means forest in Chinese. Hence the temple was dubbed Shaolin, for the forest at the bottom of the Shaoxi mountain. I really enjoyed learning Shaolin. It feels so powerful and athletic as you do it. And you can see how the warrior monks obtain that legendary athleticism, endurance, flexibility, mobility, performing these techniques hours a day. These forms and other training. Truly mind-blowing. And there's so much variety in the forms. Truly a privilege. So next is Sanda, also called Shaolin boxing. Sanda is a form of Chinese self-defense, and at Shaolin Temple they teach full-contact kickboxing, such as close-range, rapid punches and kicks, wrestling, takedowns, throws, sweeps, and even elbow strikes. Sanda was developed for the military and evolved into a combat sport. It combines elements of Kung Fu, grappling. By practicing this style, you can also attain good health, fitness, and well-being. Punches, kicks, steps, knee strikes, free fighting. The International Wushu Federation organizes and recognizes Sanda competitions. This was really cool to see. Again, Sanda does not look that different from something you would see in an MMA gym. I think there's this sort of misconception that the warrior monks don't include like any modern science for fighting, when there's so much in Sanda. Yeah, you do not want to mess with these guys. It was really cool to see kind of those 2 worlds colliding, the ancient and the modern, in such a meaningful way. Next up we have, of course, Wing Chun, which if you're an old subscriber, you know I do have some experience in myself. Wing Chun, of course, famously practiced by the legendary Bruce Lee and his master Yip Man. Wing Chun is a close-quarters, combat-centric toolbox meant to just dismember your opponent by utilizing devastating counterattacks, leading to a rapid succession of strikes known famously as the chain punch, elbow strikes, low-line kicks, finger jabs, and just all manner of destruction to the vital areas of the enemy. It is a ruthless and merciless system, and is really good for those real-world scenarios that are just messy. Because as we know, a fight is never clean on the streets. I actually entered into the Wing Chun section of the tournament. So we'll talk about that when we get to the tournament section. Really eye-opening experience to be able to train Wing Chun over there. Because my experience with Wing Chun has been so toxic. Besides my teacher, who's great, just this group of disgusting cowards and like a contest of who can be the most insecure, whining about their lineages. And it's all political and it's absolutely shameful. You are an embarrassment and you should be ashamed of yourself. You know who you are. When I got to the Shaolin Temple, because I was conditioned for that, my lineage was different than Wu Shifu, who was teaching the Wing Chun course. I figured I'd be met with criticism, but no. Wu Shifu actually ended up using me in demonstrations to show the students how it should be done, as he recognized that I understood the concepts and was doing it. And it's just mind-blowing, the level of integrity. All I can say is the rest of the Wing Chun world, the rest of the martial arts world, take note and really reflect on your ways, because you are an embarrassment. This is why I remove myself from all these bickering, childish cowards. As we know the channel slogan, cowards die first.
Oh.
Punch it.
Punch, 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 punch. Go!
Anyways, it was really nice. Let's move on. Next, we have Qigong. Hard Qigong.
Oh, the camera's on. Ah! Who hurt you?
Qigong is a way to train the nervous system, the mind, and the internal organs all in the same time, having as the result an increased level of fitness and power.
Break him. Oh my god. What the heck? What did he do to you?
Why are you striking your friend like that? Yeah, why you bully her like that? No bullying. Oh my god, you actually...
The aim of Qigong exercise is to stimulate flow of energy called Qi, build internal strength. Qigong uses breathing techniques. These breathing techniques control the internal movement of Qi.
Is that all you have, weaklings? Oh my god! I see my life flash before my eyes. This is actually really good for your digestive system.
Yes, it is.
If they can get clogged up at times and eat lots of those, what are they called, mo beans? Yeah.
From Chinese martial arts perspective, there are techniques known as iron palm, iron shirt, and metal bell cover. Hard Qigong is insane. It is very strange to explain, but even as you're doing these techniques, you're smashing your body over and over and over again, or having partners, multiple people do it to you over and over and over again. The feeling afterward is actually quite a phenomenon. I mean, it completely changes your mood, completely alters your mood and like your chemical makeup of your body. It's insane. I can't describe it. The only way is to just try it. I know you're looking at it and say, why would I want to do this?
Come on, do me, right here. Do it now.
Go for it.
Why would I want this?
Oh my god. That's terrible.
There's no universe where I want that to happen to me. I'm a sane human, but actually there is no but. But no, it's actually fantastic. There's been days doing some hard Qigong with Spencer, just it resets my entire body, my entire system. It's really incredible.
Alright, you go, Lucas. You can go. Oh, God. You know they're doing it harder because the camera's on. You can throw me out. There's no more use for all this. This is the hard Qigong exercise.
bruh, 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 bruh. You really gotta get the bruh. This is very important. Should you feel like you're gonna die? Next up we have Mei Hua Chuan, the most ancient form of Kung Fu. The oldest and most cultural Chinese Kung Fu style is Mei Hua Chuan. The Shaolin Temple, Yunnan, is the only approved center of the International Mei Hua Chuan Federation. You'll learn a mixture of martial arts, boxing, weapons, with an emphasis on the principles and values of traditional Chinese culture. Mei Hua Chuan translates to plum blossom fist, and it is the ancestor of all Chinese martial arts, and is practically unknown in Western culture. The practitioners kept it secret because they wanted to preserve thousands of years of old culture, philosophical and practical knowledge. Mei Hua Chuan has become one of my favorite types of movement. It's so mesmerizing, it's so beautiful, and the level of athleticism that it takes, the level of flexibility, mobility, strength, and endurance just to achieve the basic stances are so incredibly, astronomically high. It's so fascinating. Each stance actually represents a particular organ of the body and thus promotes the health of that organ and the entire body through its practice. And part of our training at the Shaolin Temple is to memorize each stance and each coinciding organ as you practice. I think it's so cool how it was kept a secret only until a few years ago. So no one's really seen this. And me, especially as a big martial arts fan, I'm like, why have I not seen this? It's incredible. And what a privilege to be able to train there. Because if you remember, Yan Junqifu is a 17th generation disciple of Mei Hua Chuan. Now, one of the staples of this ancient martial art, and one of the most difficult things I did on my entire journey at the Shaolin Temple, was the Mei Hua pulls. The only word to use for this type of training is intimidating. Now, remember how I just said these stances are near impossible on solid ground. Try doing them on metal poles at a fatal height from the ground. Now, of course, a lot of it is overcoming your fear. To quote the Bene Gesserit, fear is the mind killer. So a lot of it is mind over matter. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, it must be awful to plummet down from that height and smash your skull and die on the concrete. But no, it's not just that. You'll actually smash into the other metal poles on the way down, mangling your body, then smash your head on the concrete and therefore die. And there was a moment where I said to myself, I should not do this. It's incredibly dangerous. I thought, what if I fall? What if I hurt myself? Is it really worth it? And then I remembered my own channel's slogan. And then I did what I had to. And I said to myself, I would be very proud of this athletic achievement. But then I realized the victory over myself, over my own mind, over my own fears would be far more meaningful. It was a magnificent moment of victory that I will never forget. I'm so glad I overcame my fear and got up there. I'm still practicing Mei Hua and really enjoying the movements and the athletic benefits to this day. Next we have Buddhist meditation. Chan meditation, or Chinese Zen, is an ancient technique with the origin in Asia. It has mental benefits to the body and relaxation, medical benefits in the form of tonification. The main focus is mainly on spirituality. Qi means life energy, harnessing this Qi and healing system. Chan, or Buddhist meditation, consists of various techniques, and its central focus is on enlightenment. The aims of this kind of meditation are to reach a state of tranquility, have a deeper understanding of the world around us. Meditation is a simple act of doing everything with intention. In this case, meditate. But it's so funny how much harder it is to meditate with full intention than it is to, say, go for a run. Locomotion is carrying you along. However, our minds don't work like our legs do, carrying us ever forward. There's a lot of forks in the road, detours. Once had a beautiful moment with me and Spencer and a monk who was giving us some advice on meditation. When you have to peer into the void of your own mind unfiltered, sort of the same way we do when we dream, there can be many impediments, and it takes true training and focus to harness just the basic ability of not thinking. But I will say, I had some beautiful moments at the Shaolin Temple. Few blessed moments to banish out the thoughts from my head, whether they be good or bad. I want to emphasize that. And just to exist. And a lot of it had to do with just the simple life of the temple, how beautiful that was. To remove a lot of the problems I had to solve in my life, a lot of the thinking. To do the simple task of training. I know it doesn't sound simple, but to train for 9 hours a day, clean my uniform, do temple duty, serve food, etc. Such a beautiful experience, and that alone was able to open up my mind. This is the stuff that each one of us needs to achieve through really our own struggle. But I will say that I really do believe we can all do it. Dong Chan, or action meditation, essentially can be everything that we do or nothing that we do. It could be creating artwork, it could be athletics, it could be climbing to Mount Everest like me and Spencer did. It could be being lost and creating artwork. It could be playing your favorite video game and just enjoying the experience, being present in the experience. It could be making love. Like I said in my other video, movement to me really is just a memory. Like the water wheel, taking from those currents that it's tasted before. Can we ever go back to how we felt when we did something for the first time? The water ends up back where it started. But is it ever the same? Well, questions for meditation, I suppose. Have you guys done any meditations? Next up, we have power training. So this is what happened to me. I got off the plane completely dehydrated after flying 40 hours to China. I walk into the Shaolin Temple, and it was time for power training. Power training is, well, I don't know how to describe it.
For the camera! Come on!
I do remember briefly, before blacking out several times during this workout, I don't have a memory of something. I remember being told to do, I think, like 10 burpees. I can handle that. I'm an athletic guy. 20 burpees. Well, thank God that's over now. At least we don't have to do any more burpees. 50 more burpees. Huh? Excuse me? So yeah, I can't call it conditioning training. I can't call it high intensity interval training because there's no intervals. You just go for hours and hours straight until you essentially lose your mind and become a machine. That's one way to meditate. Just lose your mind doing power training, and then you won't think about anything. That's my secret. Absolutely insane, really fun, and as a former Division I athlete, I got my ass kicked just the same as everybody else. So it's just one of those things that's designed to destroy you. Break you down into nothingness and then rebuild you from the ashes of your own body. But yeah, absolutely insane. I think probably one of the most difficult workouts I've ever done in my life. Absolute madness. So yeah, picture high intensity interval training, but just no intervals. You just go high intensity forever. Huh? You see? Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense. I know it's impossible, but you do it anyway. That's power training.
What a savage! Oh my God!
What? You sons of guns!
Next up, we have Chin Na. Chin Na is a self-defense system that focuses on joint locks. The focus of this style is to capture or grasp your opponent and take them to the ground. Chin Na means hold and grip in order to lock the joint. In translation, Chin means to catch and Na means to hold and control. It is a fighting technique where you can use a holding and gripping sequence to annihilate the attacker from further attack without producing unnecessary harm. Chin Na isn't an aggressive self-defense technique, no. It's considered being a compassionate fighting style because you will not create a severe damage to the attacker. You will just put them out of action temporarily. The attacker can seek medical help from non-conventional doctors, such as Kung Fu and Qigong masters, who can restore their health. Chin Na injuries consist of damaging tendons and joints, gripping vital points, blocking meridians and energy flow. There are 4 categories of techniques specific to the particular jobs, such as Fen Jing, separating the muscle, Cao Tzu, misplacing the bones, Bi Qi, stopping the breath, and Dian Jue, attack of the vital points. Dian Jue's technique is considered very dangerous when used by an inexperienced or unscrupulous student. We teach the famous 72 Shaolin Chin Na techniques. Chin Na techniques are excellent for closing in and grappling range, and will round out your fighting skills nicely. Since fighting occurs at long, medium, close, and grappling range, as you guys know, a fighter needs to be versed in all these aspects, not to have any loopholes an opponent can take advantage of. The effective application of Chin Na techniques requires repeated practice with different partners and a thorough knowledge of the human muscular, skeletal, and nervous system. It is this knowledge that allows for the efficient application of techniques without relying on brute force. The effective application of Chin Na techniques causes severe pain, and pain is a great lever for controlling an adversary. Chin Na is considered a high-level martial art since one is able to bring the opponent under control without seriously incapacitating them. Next up, we have Tai Chi Chuan, a slow and elegant style. Tai Chi Chuan originated from Taoism, dialectic ideology, traditional medicine, and physical exercise. As you train, you'll learn how to attack by accumulating strength, improve flexibility, and develop skills to beat an action by inaction. Chen Tai Chi Chuan is considered the original Tai Chi style from the Chen village. Yang Tai Chi Chuan is the most practiced Tai Chi style in China and around the world. Tai Chi, no matter the style, has some common characteristics and some which are specific to the style. The moves in Tai Chi are soft, slow, with low impact on body joints, which makes it a great health exercise for older people. There's big emphasis on relaxation of the mind and body, so the intentions of the opponent can be understood. The yin and yang principle is applied in combat. The momentum of the opponent is used to counterattack. The power in moves is controlled by the waist while the feet are rooted. During practice, the breathing techniques are emphasized in Qigong in order to build up the internal strength. The philosophies which govern Tai Chi are from the doctrines of Taoism, Confucianism. Tai Chi has many health benefits such as improving the body's balance, agility and control, flexibility of the joints, more energy, decrease in high blood pressure, and improve the cardiovascular system, reduces body inflammation, reduces the stress. I really enjoyed more than I suspected I would, and it's so beautiful. There's some movements in it, again, almost reminiscent of the Mei Hua, which are just, they're absolutely breathtaking. And even to achieve these stances takes a level of athleticism most will absolutely never even sniff. So it's mind-blowing. And when you train in all these in conjunction, you become so powerful. But we'll get into more of that later. Next, we have Qigong, soft Qigong. The terminology of Qigong is formed of 2 parts, Qi, energy, and Gong, work or practice. The focus of the exercise practice is on developing the Qi. The purpose of practicing Qigong is to increase the vitality of the body by combining the mind, body, and the Qi, or vital force. You can practice still or moving Qigong, such as meditation, standing like a tree, moving Qigong. Qigong is a way to train the nervous system, the mind, and the internal organs all in the same time, having as the result an increased level of fitness and power. The aim of Qigong exercise is to stimulate the flow of energy called the Qi through channels called meridians and build internal strength. Qigong uses breathing techniques, practices, and disciplines of Chinese Buddhism, Taoism, and martial arts. These breathing techniques control the internal movement of Qi while the body will be motionless. There are many schools of Qigong depending on spiritual development, such as Buddhist and Taoist, purposes such as health, therapy, and martial arts. Next up we have temple duty. Temple duty is a non-negotiable aspect of your training at the Shaolin Temple. Your temple duty is an act of service and it helps build character. We did everything from sweeping the Shaolin Temple to helping serve food and all kinds of chores. This is what I mentioned before. There's also a lot of duties I wouldn't consider chores. For example, like I mentioned before, you can't ever speak. Monastic life is very much centered on mindfulness. Just as quiet sitting is meditation and the embodiment of focusing on the present moment, so too can and should any mundane act be an act of mindfulness and a religious experience. Spencer said, a monk in Beijing once told him, when you eat, eat. When you walk, walk. When you sleep, sleep. This is the core reason to eat silently in a monastic dining hall. There are actual Buddhist laws governing how you hold your bowl, how you clean it, and even how many times you should chew for each mouthful. When you eat, you should be eating. When you act in the world, it should be with your whole presentness and being. Multitasking is an enemy to enlightenment. Also, you have to eat every single piece of food that you eat. So remember, there's no talking. So when people are serving the food, if you don't want a particular food, what are you going to do? You can't talk. So you get the food, and then you have to eat it because every single piece of rice is a privilege to eat. You're not going to waste that. It's incredibly wasteful. It's incredibly offensive, especially in monastic life. Next up, we have forms. A lot of people ask what are forms for, and they're essentially a set type of movement patterns made to teach you the basic foundations of movement and also instill in you reactions to the point where it's second nature to do a lot of these movements. And again, sort of the legendary level of athleticism Shaolin monks are known for is achieved greatly due to the constant practicing of forms, perfecting the movements. And I mean, pretty much think of it as a mix between strength training, high intensity interval training, running a marathon, because you're doing it for several hours straight at times. And one of the joys I had when it came to the forms is much like with artwork, with music, with painting, everybody expresses themselves in a different way. It was just so nice in a place where at times there were in fact language barriers. I feel like I got to know people's personality almost more through their form and how they express themselves with the movements. I talk about this in my tournament video as well. I think you can really learn so much about someone with how they practice, how they do their forms. Really an indication of their character. I think almost a purer form indication of character than speaking. So it was really beautiful to observe and be a part of. Next up, we have power stretching. Surprisingly relaxing considering what's happening to your body. It's being contorted, it's being pulled and pushed in every which direction to encourage massive growth. Totally normal. I remember saying one time, after two different people were pulling my legs apart as hard as they could, that you can throw that out now. It's not needed anymore. It's useless now. I have to say, I saw incredible benefits, and the most and quickest increase in my flexibility that I ever have in my entire life.
What's happening? Oh my god. It's like a murder scene. What the heck is this?
While at the Shaolin Temple, constant stretching every day before each workout, before each 3-hour session, really made a massive difference in my flexibility and mobility game. And I still do those practices that I learned.
You feel that one, Tasha?
Anyone want to explain this? What exactly is going on here?
Up next, we have tournaments. while I was there, we had the privilege of the first ever Shaolin Wushu Federation international competition. It was so much fun. It was magnificent. And that covered all the sections that we talked about. Everything from free fighting, sparring, full contact fighting like sanda, to forms, to weapon. And it was such an amazing day. And I actually did win in the Wing Chun division, which was so much fun. And kind of a nice bookend. So like I said, a lot of the Wing Chun community has always had a big problem with me. And again, it's just the insecure, sort of like cowards, not the actual students. They seem to enjoy my stuff. Sort of a nice bookend to all the negativity. It was such a fun day. And if you want to see that, I have a separate video covering the entire tournament at length. But again, note the full contact sparring, testing of one's skills. It really is not what most people think when they think of the Shaolin Temple, kind of just like quietly doing a bunch of forms and never really testing anything. So that was so cool to see. Amazing experience.
China Yunnan Shaolin Temple.
Okay.
Up next, we have Fight Day. There's a lot of misconceptions that Shaolin monks cannot or do not spar. It is absolutely not the case at the Yunnan Shaolin Temple. And Fight Day is a sort of weekly test where you go through and spar several people for several minutes and kind of test your skills. And the masters actually get in there and spar with the students. Again, very modern, not what a lot of people expect. You can tell that these people who go around and like try to shame traditional kung fu masters, like, yeah, they're certainly cherry picking like people who haven't fought. There are people out there who are fully capable in testing his abilities that they are not selecting. So, food for thought. Just sort of a testament to Chinese traditional medicine. I was sparring Spencer, jammed my thumb completely and like hyperextended it, and I went to the Chinese traditional medicine doctor later that day, had full range of motion. So yeah, it's pretty much like magic. As I said, I got to film a fight scene with the masters of the temple, which is coming next. I cannot wait to show you guys. I was actually doing the first fight scene with Yan Junshifu. It was so amazing. And right near the ending of that first fight scene, I had a slip up and disaster struck. I literally could barely lift my right arm at all. The agony. I heard a pop when I hit the ground. I thought my shoulder was annihilated. It felt like my right trap just like tore off. The pain. I just gripped my teeth and finished the fight scene, and I could tell like this is bad. I might have to go home early. What's gonna happen? So many thoughts were going through my head. It was insane. I actually can't get an MRI because I'm a cyborg and I have wires holding together other bones that I've broken, but I could get an x-ray and a CAT scan. The problem was we couldn't get the MRI, so we could not tell what was wrong with my shoulder specifically. So I went to the Chinese traditional medicine doctor, and he did incredible work on me again.
需要就是说需要休息。
Stabbing. Definitely. Oh, God. Pain.
And again, he did some magic to me that to this day I don't understand.
Body out.
来，再抬一下。
Because in the next couple days, I had to film the rest of this short film. It was my only chance. I had this opportunity to film pretty much a dream setting. So I had to like kind of use my body's momentum to like fling my arm up. So I was in this amazing dream scenario, but I was at my absolute worst. And it was so frustrating in a lot of ways. But the masters being so amazing, we also worked around it. Like being given such an amazing opportunity, but then with extreme limitations only on yourself was very challenging. But again, I think in that moment, I grew a lot mentally because I kind of got around those very egotistical things like, I'm not going to be able to perform my best. I'm not going to do this. And it's like, wait, we're still able to be here in this like literal sacred place. This kind of untouched place, usually a place that you're not allowed to film in at all, with these masters. We got to create something beautiful, so I'm so excited to share that with you, and it is coming soon. And I think I was able to grow a lot in those moments. Things going in the back of your head, all these frustrations, all these pains, what does it sound like? It sounds like meditation, right? And that's really what it became. Kind of the final test of meditation for me personally was that personal struggle. I'll talk more about this in the behind the scenes after we release these fight scenes. Again, all I can say is my time at the Yunnan Shaolin Temple really helped me grow as a person. It made me realize how beautiful a simple life can be. Really, for the first time in my life, it allowed me to just to go through these tasks and just to exist, just to be as myself in those moments was so beautiful. Like, I can think back to these beautiful, beautiful silences and just taking in the ancient artwork and architecture, the soft breeze, the sound of the leaves being swept away like so many worries. And since that time, the way I even view eating has changed. Or maybe a moment locked in one of my favorite forms that's been passed down for thousands of years. From so many generations of monks down into my hands. It's truly humbling. And an experience I'll never forget. And the friendships I made there, forever cemented in my memory. By the time I graduated, it seems like it all went by so fast.
I came here not knowing what to expect, and I think it was those surprises that really made this so magical. I hadn't even seen anything of the grounds or how it looked or the atmosphere, and that's really the thing I enjoyed most was all the people here, all the feelings, all this the emotion. It's been so nice to open up and discover sort of the wide world of Kung Fu, which is all one family, just like us. So thank you very much, everybody. It's an honor.
你有多少粉丝？
How many fans do you have? Over 100,000. That's not so few.
是我一个粉丝也没有。
Shuba doesn't have any fans.
So the greatest thing you can give to your fans is to bring them joy when you communicate with them.
Understand？
Yes.
希望你以后有
So Shifu hopes that you can have 1 million or 10 million or 100 million or everyone in the world be your fan.
Thank you.
no problem. Okay, very good.
So Shifu hopes that through the study of Kung Fu, everyone can kind of make their hearts bigger. To say that Kung Fu is only meant for Chinese people would be wrong, because Kung Fu is for people. And so everyone can learn Kung Fu. And to hold it back and put a barrier around it so none of us could learn it would be the wrong thing to do.
Hello everybody, I'm here with Yan Jun Fu. It is just such an experience. I've learned several different martial arts. It's helped me open up my body, my flexibility, my mentality. Emotionally, it's been so fantastic. And again, just to see the Meihua and all the different martial arts. So it's been fantastic.
其实学习功夫也很
Hope
简
that
单。
first that everyone has a wonderful and happy life, and Kung Fu is actually quite simple. All you need is to be willing to eat bitter and face adversity, and to have a heart of perseverance.
Well, thank you again. It's been so great for being a part of this, and really appreciate it. Thank you for not killing me, like I said. It's very strong. Thank you.
好，拜拜。
Bye, guys.
So, which was your favorite type of training? And do you want me to go into detail in another video about a specific type of training that you're interested in? Let me know in the comments which one, or if you have any other questions, or if there's a lot of recurring questions, I'll answer those in another video. So guys, make sure to subscribe because that fight scene video is coming, as well as more content from China. Make sure to check out my other catalog of videos from that same trip, the tournament. Me and Spencer exploring China, as well as other videos. I'm also going to be doing a 100,000 subscriber plaque unboxing soon. Also, I have to thank Spencer again. He helped me so much with this video, as well as all kinds of translations. Thank you so much, Spencer. Fantastic friend, fantastic teacher. And you can see Spencer in plenty of my videos and fight scenes. So like I said earlier, I have a second YouTube channel for gaming where we love to dive into the cinematic language of games like Final Fantasy, to analyze game cinematics, and also just talk, much like we do here. So please make sure to subscribe to my gaming channel. And of course, if you want to chat live, come over to Twitch. I also have a Discord for the community. And if you want to see what happens in my daily life, a lot of bite-sized fight scenes, as well as how I train, how I eat, stuff like that, follow me on Instagram. But that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to the Yunnan Shaolin Temple. And guys, if you're interested, check out their website and tell them Philip sent you. They will take care of you. I'm so excited to move on to those fight scenes. Anyways, I'll see you around town. Cowards die first.